now.
Bow, bow, boomy,
Yeah.
back on the Zoomy.
Whew,
Um, and yeah, yeah,
back at it. The Spanish Grand Prix.
yeah. We're doing a quick review,
Mhm.
well, recap post race, um, a day and a bit after the race.
Yeah, yeah. After
Good
we've
race
had
though,
some
man.
time to let the seasoning sit and marinate.
Yeah, it was a good race though.
It
I liked
was.
it.
It was. I can't
Definitely better
complain.
than Monaco.
Yes.
Definitely better than Monaco.
I mean, I was watching a post-race interview from Monaco the other day.
Hmm.
It's just some random clips. And the interviewer said to Lance Stroll, "You're the only person that overtook in Monaco." I was like, what? He's the only person that actually passed somebody else right at the end of the race.
Hold on. Sorry, you cut off like crazy. I think my internet's bugging out. Someone said something to Lance Stroll about what?
He's the only driver that actually did an overtake during Monaco at the end of the race.
In Monaco.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And if I
Lance
recall
Stroll.
correctly, that was like it wasn't even like a proper overtake, was it? Or was it a proper
No.
overtake?
Yeah, yeah. You can call it that. Like he did, yeah, it was a proper, yeah, overtake, but it wasn't like, you know, as overtakes go, it wasn't like exhilarating or like,
Yeah.
they weren't moving, that quickly. And it's Monaco, the turns are tight. So,
That
but he's the only person that did that. So, shout out to Lance because I heard that he's having some
that
trouble with his
is
his armrest.
funny. My signal's going crazy right now. Is it me?
No, it's not you. It's actually going crazy for real. It's
Is it?
showing
It
red
must be
on my
me.
end. It's showing red on my
Oh,
end
is
for
it?
you. I'm okay. Now it's yellow. I can see your signal strength.
Okay.
Now it's good. Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. All right, cool. Hey, hey, would it be normal if we were technical issues?
Exactly.
We've been going through a lot of technical issues. Um, yeah, so I heard some of what you said, and some of it
Hmm.
made sense, and some of it was kind of like robotic, but here we are. Um, so it's difficult for me to respond to what you just said. But I will say this, Monaco is, yeah, it's getting tired, man. It's a beautiful place,
Hmm.
but I don't know.
That it is
If there's
very
no racing,
beautiful.
what's the point?
Super yacht? Super yachts, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
super yachts. They were
Yeah.
talking about, I was watching,
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No matter really. Alex, do me a favor. Go in the room. Okay. You see how quickly that can change? Go on. And I'm keeping this in there too, because like it's a struggle being like
I know,
a full-time single mother, okay?
I
Like
know,
you
I
gotta
know.
get in where you fit in.
I respect it.
Listen here.
Trying to
Listen
be in the
here.
video.
She wants to be a what do you call it? A vlogger so bad. She practices in the mirror. Hey guys, I'm here. We're doing
Nice.
this. We're doing dances. I'm just like, here we go. But
Oh,
anyway,
she's inspired right now by what you're doing.
yeah, she is. Like that's she wants to, get in it and talk about mommy vlogs and all of that. But
Oh,
whatever.
salute. Um,
Um, but yeah, I I think for me, of course, Monaco is like I love
it's
the
legendary.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the idea of the turns and like everything, the view, the boats, the pomp and circumstance of it all. It's
Mm,
exhilarating. However, the race is kind of slow when you really think about it.
hella slow.
And that's
Hella
not the
slow.
point, is it?
No, it's
Okay.
called
So
racing.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But they were talking about like expanding it next season, like yeah, just making the track like the circuit a bit different. So that'll be interesting if they do it. Hopefully there's more
Yeah, I'd love to
overtakes.
see that. I'd love to see
Yeah.
how they would accomplish that. Like,
Yeah. But anyway, we're not on Monaco, we're on
yeah,
Spain.
we are.
Barcelona.
España.
Barcelona. Um, yeah. I don't even know where to start. I think we should probably start with the
I
with
don't
with the
either.
with the with the starting lineup and the first lap.
All right.
Um, so obviously Piastri was up at the front pole. Um, and then I believe it was Lando Norris. There was an interesting thing that happened in the qualifying where Lando Norris tried to get a tow. Like he tried to steal it. Did you see that when he tried to
Yeah, I
steal a tow
did.
from Piastri? And then literally Piastri was like, "Nah, but that."
Nope.
Like his last lap was even fast,
Yep.
like
He's
significantly
like,
faster.
nope,
So
not today.
I keep saying it. Piastri's proven that he's the one,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
and Norris is the two.
Listen,
And I know Norris is he's smiling through it, but you can see the pain in his smile. He does not like being number two.
listen.
Um,
Whew.
yeah,
When I
it's
say
tough.
Oscar Piastri has definitely like, because you remember I was like big mad
Mm,
when he said what he said in Australia. I was like, yo, too soon, bro, too soon. I know you might be coming with some hot fire, but it's too soon because we're not doing so good. And it's like you're like pouring salt in an open wound. But
mm,
as if and people are gonna get to understand, like I'm a woman and I'm entitled to change my mind. Like
hmm.
I am. And
You
when it
said
comes
like
to
men
Formula
ain't
One,
men can change their mind too.
I know listen, I think human beings deserve the right to evolve and to, get different perspectives and different points of view. I think staying static in the same mindset can stifle your growth. So, with that said, I have reversed my thinking on a lot of drivers over the years, a whole
Hmm.
lot from Michael Schumacher on down. And I'm going to say that because I remember I'm old enough, young enough to remember that there was a rivalry between Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna, right?
Mm,
I'm vaguely like not vaguely, very aware because this is when the whole exposure to F1 was taking place. And this is what
hmm.
got my cousins excited is that rivalry. So I remember
Mm,
that. And I remember that, we were Senna fans, so I wasn't too partial or too
mm,
keen, on Michael Schumacher. I was just like, eh. And then over the years, that changed
hmm.
drastically, drastically. Like I wasn't like the biggest Lewis Hamilton fan like 10 years ago. I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't, like, yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, yay, we have a black driver. I'm and I'm gonna say that because I at the time I didn't feel, and maybe I wasn't playing, no, not maybe, I wasn't paying close enough attention to see the activism behind it all because I wasn't really
Mm,
paying attention to interviews and like, I wasn't paying attention to anything off the grid. So I didn't know where he stood, right? I don't know if he's like, all I know is he's biracial. I don't know what race he's claiming. I don't know. I'm not British. I don't know, right? And I'm from America. So everything is wrapped up in some way, shape, or form in race, unfortunately. So coming
mm,
from that view, I was kind of like, we'll see, right? And
mhm,
then over the years, I realized, oh no, he actually has something to say. Like he's not just, driving out here, and being nobody's like puppet, or he's not
mhm,
entertaining the circus, right?
mhm,
My whole viewpoint changed and I became a huge fan. And it's snowballed. Like I wasn't a huge Max Verstappen fan. And now I find myself defending him
mhm.
at random times, much
What
to
you
your
still
chagrin.
I'm like, what you defended
Not,
him what
not,
he did?
no, 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 no. I ain't say all that.
Okay, because we it was a long way around. We started from Oscar Piastri to Norris. Now we're talking about
Hold on now. I
Schumacher
didn't
and
say
then
I approve of
defending people. I was like, wait, hold on.
what Max Verstappen did and or said at the Spanish Grand Prix this past weekend. Let me tell you something. When you sent me that video, because
Mhm.
I didn't see that interview, I was like, this is
Yeah.
wild. What? Hold on. So we're back. We're back. We're back.
Hey, listen.
We're
You
back.
know what? One thing I know I have, like, and it's a gift and a curse, is the ability to just like discernment. I can
Discernment.
just see. I don't care what you dress this guy up in. I can see what he is about and what he's on. So you can show him, do you know what I mean, singing "We Are the World" to a bunch of kids. I'm still gonna say he's not a, you know what I mean? He's an asshole, but that's okay.
It is. It
It's
is.
okay, man, because
Yeah.
it's a necessary
It's a necessary evil.
adversary within a
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like I said before, like what's Star Wars about Darth Vader? Um, you need
Fact.
you need him. And actually, when you watch those videos of like F1 hit like moments where drivers got mad, and those videos are so
Yeah.
interesting. Do you know what I mean? You see him like kind of
Yeah.
wild out and get into miniature fights. And
Hmm.
there's a video I think with Montoya when Montoya got hit with like a camera and he's like effing and blinding. There's a
Yes.
video of like what's his name?
There's so many of them.
There's so many.
I love
Um
those videos, those
when
compilation videos when they show like them losing their shit. That
Yeah, when Massa like touched Hamilton back in the day, like touched him on the shoulder, said, and then Hamilton turned around, I was like, "Don't touch me."
don't touch
Stuff
me.
like that. Like recently with George Russell and Max Verstappen, not just this race, but like last season. Like there's so many nice like, but again, that makes it interesting. So
Hmm.
but yeah,
I agree.
my point was Piastri is definitely number one guy. Norris
Hmm.
is trying his he's really struggling to hide it. I keep seeing him smiling, but it's like he's not happy. Um, and he's trying like little cheeky things in qualifying to kind of catch a
Hmm.
toe, which is also really interesting. So
Uh, I kind of feel it for him. You can see his intrusive thoughts taking over sometimes.
yeah,
You can see the wheels turning, and like, he's not really sure. And that bothers me because Lando's a fantastic driver. He is. And he's funny as hell. Did you see him walk into that wall?
sorry, my signal's going crazy right now. This is all me in it. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me
I can
now?
hear you fine. I can hear you fine. I'm just like worried about you hearing me because my signal's
No, no, I
going
can
mad.
hear you.
Okay. Um. So yeah. So But yeah, the grid, the starting grid, really quickly going through it. Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Kimi Antonelli, Charles Leclerc. Let's go for the top 10. Pierre Gasly, Isaac Hadjar, Fernando Alonso. Oh, my days. Fernando Alonso said recently, he's like, I've got the worst luck. He's like, I've got the worst luck in sport. It's like, mate, you're Fernando Alonso, mate.
How is
Um,
that possible?
yeah, he said it like because you're with Aston Martin, they ain't doing so great, so I feel the pain. But yeah, he said it recently during the race, he's like, I've got the worst luck. I think when he broke down or something like that. So yeah, anyway, so that was Fernando Alonso's P10. Um, and he finished in P9. So I guess it's
Yes, he
pretty good
did.
for Aston Martin.
Hmm.
Lance Stroll wasn't around for the race, even though he qualified. Um, yeah, he
I think
qualified
he's having
P14.
problems with his wrist too. I
Yeah.
think he has to have surgery again. Sucks.
That's so mad though. You know, for you can only do that when your dad's the owner of the team, innit? Like
What do you
qualify.
mean?
I'm saying you qualify P14 and
Hmm.
you don't do the race, and there's no replacement driver. It's just 19 drivers on track.
Oh,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're
You
right.
can only that's only possible
No,
like
no,
when your
you're
dad's the
absolutely
owner.
right. Because they're
Because
definitely gonna put somebody else in that seat if it's somebody
yeah,
else. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're correct.
like because I
Hmm.
always yeah, man, I can just hear Lance Stroll like no one's touching my
No
car.
one. Yep. I
I
don't
can just
want
hear it.
anybody in my seat.
Yeah,
Yep.
literally, which
Get
is
out of here. We're not doing
bonkers.
that.
Because you qualified P14, like you should like your
Give yourself
team
a
should
fighting
get some
chance.
points
Exactly.
from P14.
I
See
agree.
what I'm saying? Anyway, Fernando Alonso qualified P9. Um, and what else happened? What else happened? Well, Fernando Alonso qualified P10, finished in P9. Isaac Hadjar, my personal rookie of the season, um, so far. Um, Isaac Hadjar, I think he might have went back, didn't he?
He finished
Actually, no, he
P7.
P7. He went
Yeah.
up, which is really good.
Six
Really good.
points for him.
6 good old
6
points
points
for
for
the
Griffin
boy
today.
Hajar.
Yeah,
Um, and then Pierre Gasly, P8. I think he finished in P8 as well, Pierre
he
Gasly.
did. He did finish in P8.
Um, and then we get to Charles Leclerc, who did a madness. I don't know who the driver of the day was, but if it weren't Charles, I don't know who it would be, other than
Do you
Pierre.
want to know who the driver of the day was?
Yeah, was it Oscar Piastri? It must have been Oscar, right?
Da, 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 da. Max Verstappen.
That would be crazy.
I think it is. Hold on, let me double check. Because I'm pretty sure they said it was him. And I was like, no way.
That can't be right.
But I saw that on Instagram, so Ah, fans dumbstruck over Max Verstappen award at Spanish Grand Prix.
What? It was Max. No way. No way.
Mhm.
No way. No way.
Max Verstappen was voted driver of the day by fans worldwide after finishing 10th at the Spanish Grand Prix. But I'm sorry, I'm just doing it. But this
Hold
is
on.
hilarious
There's
to me.
there's too many things. You know what's so mad? That's crazy.
I needed this laugh.
Because you know
I
what's so
needed this
funny?
laugh so bad.
I'm like, because I'm saying stuff, and you'd think I'd prepped this, you know what I mean, as like interesting topics for the pod about, you know what I mean, like Lance Stroll and Max Verstappen. I'm just thinking of it as I'm saying it. How the hell was Max Verstappen driver of the day?
The
He,
fans clearly voted before the shenanigans took place.
but no, like, but even if, wait,
So,
hold on, wait,
where
hold
did he
on.
qualify?
Fernando Alonso qualified P3. What did
Oh,
he do?
really?
Yeah,
I
he
don't remember
started
that.
P3. He would have ended P3. What the hell did
Huh.
he do that would warrant him being driver of the day? Yeah, he had some good moments, but he was chasing them down, I guess, with strategy stuff. He had some good pace, but what did he do that was like anything significant? I don't get it. I don't understand. Very confused.
Okay. Can you hear me? I just muted myself.
I
I'm on
can
my
hear you.
phone
Yeah, I
now.
can hear you.
Um,
Yeah.
this is the thing. I saw it on Instagram. I wasn't 1,000% sure it was true. I had to like just
What?
double check because I know I saw it on Instagram and I was like, what the? No way. But it was late. It's early. Well,
Makes
I
no
should say it was
sense.
early this morning. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. So when I saw it, I kind of was just like, it's too late for this. Like I'm gonna go to bed and wake up and I'll check it out tomorrow. But yeah,
But
mhm, he did.
but that don't make no sense. It literally makes no sense. Like, what?
I mean, get it out the wall. You,
That's
you,
crazy, man. Yo,
listen.
Max Verstappen has got some favor, like he's got favor in places where he just shouldn't have favor. A
I'm
lot of
telling
people
you,
they're talking about him getting a driving ban.
yes. If he is what is it? If he
Oh,
gets one more point, if he's penalized one more point, that's it. Like he gets a race ban. If he gets another point deducted in what's the next race? Canada? Yes. Then he doesn't go to what's the next race after that? Austria? I can't remember.
okay.
But yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
we're
He's
talking about Max now. We might as well just go all in. Like I've never seen someone like slow down and then speed up and then drive into another car
listen,
and not and be penalized 10
no,
seconds.
that's not true. I don't know about the penalty. No, you're right about the penalty part. I've seen someone do that. Michael Schumacher did that. I can't remember who the driver, he did that too. But he did that. So he did that in order to give me 2 seconds. Let me finish this thought real quick. He, who the hell was it? I cannot remember the driver that he did it to. But at some point, it was almost the end of the season. He was ahead in the driver standings. He wanted to win the driver championship, but if the other driver had qualified or had finished the race any higher than I think it was P5, he wouldn't the points Like he would have surpassed him in the points, and essentially
Mm.
Michael Schumacher wouldn't have won. So he essentially realized that at some point and crashed into him. Like I can see it in my head. I can
Oh, I
see the
think I know
crash
what
in
you're
my
talking
head.
about. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we've seen it before. However, Michael Schumacher was not penalized for that.
But that was a
Fun fact.
controversial time. That's
Yes.
in this. I'm
Yes,
not gonna lie. This is
it
the
was.
reason why, because we're here now. This is one of the reasons why Lewis Hamilton being involved in the sport was really dope to me. Oh, she gone. But one of the
No,
reasons.
I'm here. I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay,
I can talk. I'm talking.
yeah, that's cool. One of the reasons why Lewis Hamilton joining the sport was really interesting to me because, like, even as a kid watching Formula One, I knew it was corrupt. So
Yeah.
seeing Lewis Hamilton there, I was like, man, this is really hard to be corrupt because everyone knows about. You know what I mean? Like, what everyone had an expectation of having one black guy in the sport. It's like so it was difficult for them to be so controversial.
I
Um,
agree.
because yeah, Lewis Hamilton just being there was like, yeah, extra eyes, and yeah, man, the sport is still it's a very kind of like it's a very interesting ignorance that takes place in the sport of
That,
Formula One.
huh.
It's just like
Mhm.
it's so
It,
blatant, but it's
ignorance
like,
is a ignorance is a very good word for it. Let me tell you,
yeah,
because they all act as if we're not seeing what we're seeing, and I think that's the
mm-hmm,
part that bothers me.
mm-hmm.
Like we see what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they all talking like this. Like, there's always like someone that writes a statement, and it's all like good words and like I mean big words. It's like, mate, I can see through this. Like, you're just covering up the nonsense. There's no reason why Max Verstappen shouldn't be worried about not racing the next race after what he did. It's
I
like,
mean, the thing is, but these are things that he's done before. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's done all of this crap before, and he hasn't been really penalized for it. Like, what was the penalty for him driving over Lewis's head? Do you remember?
I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know.
all right.
I have
Let
no
me
idea.
just Google it right quick because I want to know. No, for real.
Yeah, half your head's cut off, by the way. I can't really see.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying
might
to
have to bring the camera higher or something. I don't know.
my trying to type in the computer to improve my posture.
Um,
Let me
yeah,
zoom
shout
in
out
on this
Max though.
phone.
It's weird. I'm saying all this stuff about him, but I like his personality in the sport.
I
I
do
think
too.
he's necessary in the sport, and he's a good driver. So that's all important. Um, who else? Who else we got to talk about? Should we talk about the Mercedes and the Ferraris?
Yep.
Because I think that's the official battle. That's the official battle. I think let's say this right now. I think Leclerc is the number one driver at Ferrari, naturally, and Hamilton is number two. And
That hurt to hear. Woo.
yeah, he's definitely number two. And same with Mercedes. George Russell's number one, clearly. George Russell's getting cheeky. In qualifying, he was like, he went on the radio and was like, should I stay out and give Antonelli a toll? A tow. Did you see that?
I did. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, we being funny. All right.
No, he's being arrogant. No, not arrogant. He's being like he's confident.
Okay.
It's a whole confidence. I'm not worried about this guy having a faster time than me. Just should I give him a tow? Would that help the team?
I mean, to be
Um,
fair, Kimmy, Kimmy did, end up with some car trouble at the end of the race.
you know what's so funny? I'm thinking about it now. When Hamilton left Mercedes and went to Ferrari, people were always talking about like Ferrari's reliability issues, and
Hmm.
oh my gosh, Ferrari
Hmm.
have so many issues within their team, blah, blah. But it seems to me, since Hamilton left, Mercedes have all the, I mean, mechanical issues. How many times have like cars broken, like the car broken
This
down?
is very true. However, I would say that between Mercedes and Ferrari right now, I think Mercedes is a little bit more consistent. Like, I mean,
Are
George
they
is
this
out here.
season?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. George is out here finishing the races and getting points. Like,
Not really. Bad strategy calls in Monaco.
this is
The
true.
car, Antonelli's
That was
car broke
facts.
down this race. Um, George Russell had a car failure as well in the tunnel last race.
Oh yeah, he
Um,
did. I forgot about, you know what? Let me shut up. I did forget about that.
like they are struggling, man. And like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a while ago when they're kind of like in the same. same playing field because we can't forget
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
two
you're right.
DNFs, the two disqualifications, DSQs, with the weight
Excuse
of
me.
the car and
Hmm.
the and that board thing being the
Yeah, yeah.
Ferrari.
I forgot
So,
they were involved in that.
yeah, they're in a similar place. It's like what it looks like to me, leader of the pack is the McLarens. Then
Hmm.
somehow, some way, Max Verstappen, unless he just shoots himself in the foot. And then it's a mix between George Russell Leclerc, Hamilton, and Antonelli. Actually, that's bad. That's bad. George Russell Leclerc and Hamilton, and then Antonelli's kind of there in the mix, just like beneath the three. Um, and then we've got the mid pack. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
The official mid pack, which will be the Racing Bulls and Williams when they get their ish in order. In order. I say that though. Hulkenberg passed Hamilton.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
what?
yes, he
It's a
did.
weird, it's a weird season, but I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite seasons because other than the McLarens, you just never know what's gonna happen.
There's a lot going on. I
A
mean,
whole lot going on.
like so much, and
Anyone can, you know what I mean? Anyone
pretty
can
much.
come up.
I mean, there's what 10 points between Oscar and Lando right now in the driver's standings. That's saying
Yeah,
a
but that's
lot.
not a problem. Piastri's won it. If anyone's gonna be a problem for Piastri, it's Max Verstappen. It's not Norris.
Max has 137 points.
Yeah, he killed himself with that dumbness he did.
He did. He did. He really did. He really did. Like, oh Jesus, do I have to scroll all the way down? Never mind. I don't want to even say it out loud. Let's just move on. Yeah. So back to the driver standings for Spain, because I'm not gonna go any further down on that list to look at the championship standings right now because it's gonna depress me more.
Yeah, it gets crazy once you keep going down.
Yep.
Can we talk
Yep.
really quickly though about
Hmm.
Yuki Tsunoda? Because when that was announced, I was like super happy about it.
Um.
And it's like this guy can do no good. I saw a comment, someone was like, "Oh, it seems like Perez was the guy all along." I was like, maybe you're not wrong there. Because
We were strongly advocating for Yuki to get that seat.
we was because Liam Lawson was random. Um,
It was.
yeah,
That decision was very random,
very
and
random.
I stand by that.
But also I felt like because I like Yuki's personality and I've seen him
Hmm.
kind of like just I mean he went from a reckless driver, you know what I mean? Like spinning out and just doing the most when he
Fact.
first joined to kind of like a racing ball driver that was really interesting. Like and he was making moves and he was moving along the pack and but it's so sad to see how much he's struggling.
That is
Um
true.
yeah, he's
That is
really
very true.
struggling. But again, I think this is crazy as it is to say, I think this is Red Bull karma. I think Red Bull as a team have done so much nonsense. Christian Horner has been like this, the champion of like this ignorance thing that I was talking about, and they were winning. You know what I mean? And now it's like,
I mean, if you have the ball, you get to make the rules.
yeah. Hey
So,
man, God don't make mistakes. I'm telling you, man. They're like, okay, okay, Christian and Red Bull, you're gonna make this Max Verstappen guy the the golden horse. All right, cool. Now you've only got one horse.
that entire part, and that one horse does not look like he is 1,000% comfortable in that
Yep,
stable anymore. I'm
yep.
just
That one
saying.
horse is starting to lose. Yeah, it's like his emotional volatility is
Mm-hmm.
is
Uh-huh.
affected. Like he's definitely up there. Like I said, it's the McLarens, then it's Max Verstappen.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
I
they
think,
put all their chips in that guy,
yep.
and he is an asshole, and that karma I think is starting to come back to them. But I'm just a random guy
This is,
talking rubbish.
yes, and I'm just a random girl that's like been watching this crap for so long that, I watch it in the
Yeah,
background. But
it's
so
crazy.
I heard, who was it? I think there was a YouTuber that I was listening to that was saying that the discomfort that Max is feeling now at Red Bull, he's probably gonna start looking for, other places to go, and the most likely place is Mercedes. And I was like,
He's
huh,
not going Mercedes.
what?
No,
Like I was
what?
like,
That's not happening.
huh. I
That
was
is
like,
not happening.
we're, whew,
That that's
oh,
one place. I
that
mean, it
sounds
makes
rough.
sense. It makes sense in terms of like good teams and stuff, but
Yeah,
they do not like him. I'd be
yeah,
surprised if they were like, "Yeah, come on, Max. We're just going to get rid of this young phenom called Antonelli, and we'll move George Russell along too." And
yeah.
it's like that. No one's, not a lot of teams have that Red Bull mentality of just like we don't care. We just want the best thing in place.
Right.
That's
Not
why
a
I
lot
said
of
they
them
got their
do.
karma. They've got their karma. You wanted this
Hmm.
guy? All right,
You
cool.
got him. You
You
got
got
him.
him.
You
Yeah.
got him. But you're absolutely right. Like I was like, wait, okay, all right. I see what you did there, but I would beg to say that, a lot of forethought and insight is going to go into that decision, not like
Yeah.
Red Bull strategy when it comes to making their driver decisions, where it seems like it's kind of just like, yep, every man for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like batten down
Literally.
the hatches, bitches, because we don't know what's going to happen next.
Let me actually see this actually really quickly. So, oh my gosh, a kick Sauber got 10 points,
Hmm.
fifth, ahead of Hamilton. What
Hmm.
the hell?
When I saw that
Um,
overtake, it's funny. I saw the overtake before the
Crazy.
commentators acknowledged it, and I was like, what just happened? That car is green
Yeah,
and
like
black. Why did that car just? I was like, that just. Oh, it happened. And then they said, oh, and I was like, oh my God, yes, it happened. Okay,
I
all
think I
right.
need to watch that race back because I need to
I
understand
did. I watched it back last night. Like,
what did Kick Sauber do in terms of like to put themselves in a position where passing a Ferrari was even possible
I,
and being
I,
in a position on the grid,
I
like,
know. I
so
couldn't
I
tell you.
mean, to compete for fifth was
I
even
didn't see
possible.
it come. If I had seen it coming, then I could tell you. I could explain what happened to you. But I honestly didn't see it coming, and I still didn't see it coming last night when I watched it back. I was just
What
like,
the hell?
I think I still missed something. I must have missed something. Maybe in the frames before that, maybe that I didn't get to see that were off camera. Maybe that's what I missed. But I missed it. I did. Like I still am struggling to figure out how. And this
Yeah,
is no
that's
disrespect to
crazy.
Nico Hulkenberg because I love Nico. If that's not it, it's just like I was a little confused, just a little bit.
Nah, it's not even. You don't even have to say no disrespect to Nico Hulkenberg. I remember we were looking at the points, and Kick Sauber was the only team with no points.
No point.
So the fact that a Kick Sauber is now fifth and passing the Ferrari on track, yeah, I know there was a safety car on track, that kind of brought everyone together, but how? How, how,
I
how, how, how?
Yeah,
Like,
I was
especially on the
surprised.
three-stop race, like people were stopping three times. Like, what the hell? Did they not stop? Did they only go for two stop? I don't know what they did.
And I guess maybe because even though you go into the rewatch thinking, oh, I'm going to pay attention to all these things, you still get caught up in the overall dramatics of the race.
Yeah,
So then you kind of lose track of, oh, I should be paying attention to this. And like, I would need to rewatch it again to with that specific thing in mind and
yeah,
not get distracted because I still can't
that's
figure it
crazy.
out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's really interesting. I'm happy for Kick Sauber. I think that's pretty much all the
Hmm.
points they've got, that 10.
Hmm.
Um, but I also got to say, like, I'm really happy with Pierre Gasly as well. I'm so glad he's getting a shine. Um, I don't know when it was, maybe like 3 or 4 races ago, where the Alpines just had a purple patch and they were qualifying like
Yeah.
P4. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's difficult. You know what I mean? They've got um a new guy. I don't know why they put Colapinto in that other Alpine car. But yeah, he's Pierre Gasly's doing a Max Verstappen in the senses Alpine have their golden horse in him, and
What
he's
is your thought on Colapinto? Like, what are your thoughts on him? Because we haven't really mentioned Gabriel. What's his name? That's not his name. That's
it's not
Bortoleto.
Gabriel, it's
What's the
Franco
hell's his name?
Colapinto.
Franco Colapinto.
I think my thoughts on him, ironically, are similar to my thoughts on Yuki Tsunoda, like
Oh.
now. Um, and I mean that in a sense of like that the way they're bringing these drivers in, like mid-season, or not
Mm-hmm.
even before even mid-season, it's
Mm-hmm.
just showing like an erratic desperation, for points, and it's like,
Yeah, you might be right.
um, yeah, the same thing that Red Bull did when they let go of Liam Lawson. It's like, okay, this guy's
Mm-hmm.
getting us no points. Let's go back on our word. Let's go back on what we said we'll do, and just bring the Yuki guy in because we need points,
We
and
need
he's
points.
struggling. Um, maybe because he's not comfortable with the car. I mean, a lot of these new drivers, there's been a lot of shuffling around this season. Lewis
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton's like 1 week he's great, he's figured out the balance. He's
And
feeling really
next week
comfortable.
it's like
Next week he's not.
we're
Same
back to
thing
square
with
one.
yeah. I think the same thing with Yuki Tsunoda. Same thing that happened to Liam Lawson when he was at Red Bull. I think that's the same thing that's probably happened to Colapinto.
Mm,
Um, yeah, but I think it's not his fault necessarily. It's massively on the team. But then again, I think Colapinto was already with um the team as like a third driver. So I don't know. But I say all that to say I'm really happy that Pierre Gasly is, I mean, finishing the top 10. He's been
yeah,
a good driver for a long time. It's just not a great team, is it? So yeah, there's a few underdogs there, which is good.
it's funny. There's an article on ESPN.com about the Hulkenberg Sauber thing, saying
Okay.
that he lifts Sauber from last in the F1 standings single-handedly. Ah,
Wait, he what?
he lifted Sauber from last
He
place in the standings
lifts. Oh,
with that
yeah,
performance.
yeah,
Wait, you're
facts.
cutting out. You're cutting out.
Yeah,
Okay, you're back now.
back at it again. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. How the hell? Yeah, Kicksab was going crazy. They had
Mm-hmm.
6 points, and now they got 16.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Because they hadn't scored any points since the Australian Grand Prix when he finished seventh. So he's
Yeah,
basically single-handedly, trying to bring this team like out of the depths of despair.
it's crazy. And ironically, the other team with 16 points as a team is Aston Martin, and beneath them, the team with the lowest amount of points is Alpine. So right
Oh,
now, Alpine with Pierre Gasly, Aston Martin with Fernando Alonso have less points than a Kick Sauber.
okay. Okay.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But then again, when you look above that, when you look above those 16 pointers, we've got Haas with 26 points, Racing Ball with 28, and then it's Williams with 54. Hold on.
Wait,
Racing Bulls have 144 points.
what? Hold on. What? Really?
No,
Teams?
no, I'm
What
chatting
what a
rubbish. I'm chatting
team?
rubbish.
Oh, because I
I'm
was about
chatting.
to say,
I was gonna say no, no, no,
I
no.
clicked on that team's link
Yeah,
so
no, no,
fast.
it's not. I'm bugging out. I'm bugging out. Sorry. It's Racing Bull have 28.
I
Williams have
was about to say,
54. Yeah,
what?
sorry. I saw Red Bull Racing. I was like, is that Racing Bulls? No, it's not. Okay, cool. Yeah. Red Bull Racing have 144. That's Max
Mm-hmm.
Verstappen on his own, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
Racing Bulls have 28. Um, interesting.
I mean,
Very
Racing Bulls
interesting.
had, wait. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
That's interesting, but it's looking really close with the
Yeah.
top four. Well, the second, third, and fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Second, third, and fourth. Ferrari 165, Mercedes 159. That's the battle right there for second place. And
Yeah,
Red
pretty
Bull,
much.
yeah, and Red Bull 144. As long as Kimi Antonelli and George
Mm,
Russell keep scoring points and
yes,
Leclerc and Hamilton keep scoring points, I think it's gonna be very hard for Red Bull
I agree.
to be in that race for the second place. Um,
I
Man, they
agree.
need to. I don't know. It's like when you have like a kid that is like you want them to be good at something that they're just not good at.
Oh gosh.
Do you know what I mean? You're trying to
Yeah.
force them but
Yeah.
it takes time. They might get good,
They
but it's
might
not
get
gonna
good.
happen. It's not gonna happen in a day. That's how I feel they're treating Yuki Tsunoda. You've Red Bull. I can imagine they're like just drive really good today. You know what I mean? And he's like, okay, I'll try my best, but
I
he's
don't
clearly not
know.
comfortable in that car.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, there's clearly like something going on there. And I feel like I can't say he looked more comfortable at damn, what was the name of the damn thing when he was at Toro Rosso?
Hmm.
When he was that, I can't say he looked more comfortable because he looked like, at some point it seemed like he had outgrown the team. And maybe it's because we just had high hopes for him at Red Bull. Maybe that's it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's we saw the promise of the thing and not what the actual thing is.
yeah.
For me, I'm kind of like now I feel like maybe it would have been better if he had stayed there because then, it's kind of his shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he's like trying to get in on Max's territory, or like it just kind of feels like, man,
I mean, I don't
I
know. I
don't know.
mean, really and truly, okay, so who would, if he stayed at Racing Bulls, he would be with
That wouldn't make no
Isaac
sense.
Hadjar. It would make sense, but that would mean Liam Lawson is still at that Red Bull team.
No, exactly. It wouldn't make sense for his growth. For Yuki's growth, it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't make any
It'd
sense for
make
his
more
growth
sense
to
for his
stay
growth
there.
than it did Liam Lawson, but
Yes.
um yeah, really interesting. Um I think lastly we should probably talk about Williams really quickly because I think very unfortunate. Alex Albon is another person that I could put in that same category of like an Alex
Hmm.
Albon, not as a Pierre Gasly, someone that's been in the sport for some time and hasn't necessarily been dealt the best hand, but has been doing
Hmm.
really well in recent
Hmm.
years with what he has been given.
Yes.
It's just unfortunately, you know what I mean, had a DNF this race. And yeah, Carlos Sainz, his home Grand Prix, qualified really bad and
Hmm.
finished in 14th position. So what's your thoughts on Williams as a whole?
Um, Two drivers that I like a lot. I have openly expressed how I feel about Alex Albon. I love him as a driver. I think his finesse, like we don't talk enough about it. Like he
Mm,
manages to do what's necessary in what he has. And I feel like sometimes he might get in his head a little bit, but overall, I like him as a driver. I like how conscientious he is. Yeah,
yeah.
sometimes, everyone loses their temper, but he somehow manages to make it, look and sound good. And I I feel like the tools that he's, you know, been given to perform
Hmm.
probably sometimes aren't adequate. And that makes me sad because I would love to see what he would do with, the proper machinery behind him.
I mean,
Having
we've
said
seen
that,
what he do. To be fair, when he was with Red Bull.
I don't think Red Bull is a barometer I want to judge people's driving. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
to be
gonna be
fair,
honest, like, I'm
unless
not
it's
going.
Max.
Yeah, like I think that specific program works. It's just like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. That
Mm,
specific program works for Tom Brady. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah, for sure.
them two, they work, they know what they're doing. Christian clearly speaks Max, Max somewhat speaks Christian. So I wouldn't use, because like Daniel Ricciardo is an excellent F1 driver, as far as
Mm,
I'm concerned. And not even Danny Rick could make that shit work. Like that tells me everything I need to know. Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Let's Okay. When they say it's not me, it's you,
Hmm.
it's him, it's Max. Like let's face it, how many drivers have come whilst he's been there?
You
And
know what
he's
I'm
still
realizing?
there.
This sport is, I believe, is massively about confidence. Like what they were saying about Lando Norris in his qualifying was that he was over driving, which is
Mm-hmm.
why he didn't put a faster lap than Piastri. It's like being relaxed is really
It's
important as a
Listen
driver.
to me. It's tremendously important.
Yeah,
Okay?
and I think the same thing that's happened with that happened with Daniel Ricciardo. Like he was very relaxed, he was just going through the motion, he was the guy. And then he went to Renault, and then he went to all these other places, and I think he felt like he had something to prove, and the more he wasn't able
Yeah.
to do it, I guess the more tense he became, and
Yep.
eventually got kicked out of his seat. Um, Same thing that's probably going to happen with Yuki Tsunoda if things don't
Yeah.
change. But I think what's interesting about that Tom Brady Bill Belichick reference is that Bill Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, they built the team around. They obviously knew they had something special in their partnership, but they got the
Yeah.
necessary pieces to make sure that the team was winning and flourishing. And
This
I
is
feel
true.
like Red Bull, granted, it seems like they're trying to do it. They're just doing it from a place that's kind of erratic and like
Hmm.
just reckless. It's like
Can
let's
agree
put
with
him in
that.
place and see if he can drive. Um, because I forgot the guy's name, the guy with dreadlocks, who's like part. Well, I'm not sure if he's still with the Red Bull team, the black guy, and he was talking
Oh,
about how like
yeah. Yeah. Callum.
yeah, yeah, I forgot his
Yeah.
name, but
His first name's
basically
Callum.
he was talking about how the way. In fact, Alex Albon was talking about this too. He was like the way that Max Verstappen drives or
Mm-hmm.
the way the car is set up is like putting everything on a game to super duper sensitive, like 100% sensitivity. So the slightest movement will change everything. But that's how Max Verstappen likes to drive. But
Facts.
unfortunately, it means that's what the two cars are like. And so if you jump in as a teammate, you just have to get with it. Um, and unfortunately, that's a bit of a tough mountain to climb because, like I said, being relaxed is super important. But how are you going to be
Mm-hmm.
relaxed if the slightest movement, you know what I mean? It changes everything. And it's
Oh
not
yeah.
like what you're used to driving um, in previous cars. And yeah, it's just like it's a massive trickle down effect. And yeah, man, I think Red Bull need to really do some thinking about I mean, what the whole how the whole team wins in the future. And unfortunately, they've got to stop looking at Max Verstappen a little bit and start looking at the whole picture because Max Verstappen can't carry the
He's
whole
not
team
gonna
all the
be there,
time.
but yeah, he's not gonna be there forever. Like he can
Hmm.
decide, I don't know how long his current contract is, but I'm gonna assume it's gonna end at some point. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? And there's gonna be shakeups coming next season with the amount of teams that we have on the grid. We don't know
yeah,
like what that's gonna look like. The landscape of like everything, the politics of it all, having two extra teams. Like, is it two
yeah.
extra teams or is one extra team? I can't
I thought it
remember.
was just Audi. What's the other
It's just
team?
Audi, but what's up with Cadillac? Who's changing the Cadillac or something like that?
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I ain't
Hold on.
until it's
Cadillac
like, you know what I
Formula
mean?
One.
I don't know.
Let me tell you.
Oh, did you know Oliver Behrman got
Cadillac.
a 10-second penalty? I didn't know that either.
For what?
Yeah, for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So he finished um P17, like the back of the grid, because
Huh.
everything was packed up and close. He probably could have finished. He could have finished P13. Still no
Hmm.
points, but
Hmm.
yeah, he got a 10-second penalty.
Yes, the Cadillac Formula One team will be joining the Formula One grid in 2026.
Wait. So that means there's gonna be what, 24 drivers?
How many drivers for 2024? Hold on, let me see. F1
That's a lot of cars.
2024, 2025. Wait, 2026, not 2025.
Okay.
There will be 22 drivers on the grid due to the addition of a new team, Cadillac. So Cadillac is the one that's coming. So what the hell is Audi? So what's Audi? What's
Isn't
happening?
I thought Audi was gonna. Okay, cool. I don't know. I don't know. I
Audi,
thought Audi
Audi. I
was a
thought so
thing.
too. Am I bugging? I can't be bugging. Yes.
Oh no.
What the fudge? Okay. Oh, Sauber is changing to
Oh, they're
Audi.
taking
Yes.
over a
Yes.
team.
My bad. My bad. My
So
bad.
Kickstarter
Yes.
will be. That makes sense. Yeah, that
Yes.
makes sense.
Kick Sauber would now be out Audi. So yes,
Audi.
it's an extra two drivers and an extra team on the grid next year.
Got you.
So
Okay,
we
cool.
don't really know what it's gonna look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, at this rate, because I'm not gonna lie, when that safety car comes out and the lapped cars need to unlap themselves. That's what
Oh
has them drivers complaining, like, has them complain, like, oh my gosh, it's an extra two cars, Hamilton. I know
my
you're gonna
God.
hate it, but
Yep. I mean, we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see what happens this season. I don't know how much hope I had in, Ferrari's performance, but I think I had more hope than what's happening now.
I mean,
And
it's doing all right. Listen, first season with Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton, I know he's been hard on himself. He was like really, he seemed really
he
down in his
is
post race.
so hard on himself. It makes me sad.
Nah, I get it. I get it. If you're mad, you're mad, innit? Like, and however you deal with being mad is how you. I
I
understand
know,
that
but
level
I
of
don't I don't like to
you know
see
what?
him that frustrated. It really
It's.
bugs me that he's that frustrated.
I
That's
think it bothers me knowing that when you're mad, you have to not be mad and
center
do an
yourself.
interview.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like that
That
bothers me more
yeah,
than him being mad. Like
yeah.
we've seen friggin', do you know what I mean, drivers throw helmets and kick the
I
tires
agree.
and all that stuff. I don't mind you being mad, because that is that same fuel that I think makes a driver like tenacious and yeah, makes him a
Yeah,
good
but
driver.
mad is one thing. Defeated is a whole other thing. Okay.
No,
Like
I don't think Lewis Hamilton's defeated. I
I
think he's
feel like I'm not to cut you, but I feel like the level of frustration he's having right now is kind
mhm.
of like akin to when you see something wrong and you know how to change it, but the people won't do the thing that's necessary to make that change happen. And you're just
Mm.
like, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because you have no control over their actions and they need to fix it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you think that's what he's going for? Because
I
if I'm going
mm,
with his interviews, it seems like the frustration is it's not the team's doing great. I'm just not getting it. Does that make sense? It's like he's not adjusting to this car as quickly as he would like to. So the
okay,
frustration seems to, I mean, at times he's mad with the team, but just going off what he
yeah.
says, it seems like he's more mad at himself.
And that this is the thing. Like, okay, I'm not a F1 driver. I'm not.
Mm,
Don't know the technicalities when you get, behind that steering wheel and you lock it in. Um, I feel like there might be some type of communication barrier that we're not like aware of. It just can't be
yeah.
him and his performance. Like that, if he's not getting it, like maybe some another conversation needs to be had. Like, does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. I mean, we already know, like, Ferrari have their issues. I mean, just
Yes.
look at the so far, like this season, they've had their issues with just dumb things that could have been avoided. But one thing I am very, very aware of is that Lewis Hamilton is joining a team that means he has to adapt his driving style,
Hmm.
join his car, and I think that takes time. And I think one thing about anyone that's competitive that I've come across, they always try and beat the time of, ironically, but they always try and beat the time that is allocated to how long it takes to get healthy, how long it takes
This
to
is
get
true.
right, how long it takes. And I think that's
Very true.
for a competitor, that's probably the bigger thing. Even if it's a Ferrari problem, I think he's gonna, from watching Lewis Hamilton over the years, I think he takes he'll put it on himself,
Yeah.
even if it's not entirely him. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's decent, man. You didn't finish, so I mean, back of the grid. You didn't do a Max Verstappen and get yourself 10, do you know what I mean, a 10-second penalty. So yeah, if you ask me, P6, 8 points, ain't that bad.
That cool
Uh,
down room, that the what do you call it? The driver's cool down room when they focus
hmm
on
Yeah.
the three top placers. Were you seeing just Oscar and Lando's reaction to what has occurred with,
Yeah, I saw you
Charles
posted
there
that.
like, yo, and I'm just there like his that person who made that comment and said like you can see Lando's intrusive thoughts like just ruminating in his head because he's thinking like, did I just he did that. Yo,
Yeah.
he just did
But you
that.
know what's so funny though? The thing I don't like about Lando Norris in these situations is a couple weeks ago, I mean, at some point this year, I'm sure, Lando Norris was when he asked about who his best friend was. He's like, Max Verstappen's my best friend. So as soon as you say that, now when I see your best friend do a madness and the camera goes to you and we're looking for your reaction on what your best friend's done, I always know it's gonna be contrived. I always know
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I mean, you're not gonna hold your
facts.
like you've shown that you're not gonna hold him accountable for doing a madness. That doesn't seem to be what your friendship is based on. It seems to be on, yeah, keeping up appearances and being, you know what I mean, just sucking ass basically. Basically
Pretty
kissing his
much.
ass. That's what it looks like. So even when I saw his reaction, I was like, I don't know, man. Lando Norris is
Pretty
probably going
much.
through a massive like this the person in front of him, the person behind him. Yeah, massive, very challenging to see how he responds to Oscar Piastri, who's ahead of him, and also Max Verstappen, who is apparently his best
Mm.
friend when he's doing a madness on track, like what he did at Barcelona. Um, so yeah, really interesting. I don't know. I don't know. But
It's yeah, I'm keen to know his, his actual thoughts on what his best friend did. That's your best
yeah.
friend. That's your best friend. Go best friend. I'm
He's not
keen to
gonna.
know.
He's even if he had his actual thoughts, he's not saying it on
He's not
camera.
gonna say that
He's
exactly.
saying it behind. You know what I mean, he doesn't want to upset his best friend. That's his best friend.
He said, I did that. I've done that before in Mario Kart. And I was like, no, he did.
Jeez.
Okay.
Wait, who said that?
That's what Lando said. He's like, wait, I've done that before. in Mario Kart. I was
Yeah,
like,
man. What the hell? Why is that something? Anyway, whatever. Um, yeah, when's the next race? When's the next?
not this weekend, next weekend. The weekend after that. Just
Okay,
like
and we're
plan
going
ahead.
Canada, right? Is that
Yes,
Canada?
we are going to
And
Canada.
then Austria, and then Great Britain, where I'm
Yes,
at.
yes.
But yeah, listen, this is I'm super duper tired, so
Yes, you need to get to bed.
I need to
Quite
get to
late
bed.
over
It's
there. It's after 12.
12 midnight,
Mm-hmm.
and I got work in the morning. So
Oh, good night.
yeah, good night and all them things. But I'm glad we got this done. Let's keep doing
Yeah,
these post race talks, and
I agree.
yeah, it's probably have to be Zoom for a little while because I think the
Yep,
quality's a lot better.
I agree. All right, guys.
Um,
Like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, hold on before I go, before I forget. Congratulations. I saw the was the BBC thing,
oh yeah,
the
yeah,
series.
yeah. Oh, you can't watch it where you're
Congratulations.
at, but yeah, maybe
Oh
there's
no,
a link.
I have BritBox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I do.
So yeah, episode 3 of Death Valley on BBC is
Yeah.
a thing. Um, so yeah,
Check it
we did
out,
that
guys.
last year. I did it last year. So
Really?
yeah, that's
Nice.
this stuff is always like I filmed it a lot
Yeah,
like a year before, and it's like
this
oh,
is
it's coming
true.
out now. And it's like okay, cool. But yeah, watch that. Follow me on everything. Benny
Mm-hmm.
Sarpong.
Mm-hmm.
Formula One content, random stuff, and
All
also
right,
stuff
guys.
about acting stuff. But yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yes.
Until next time. See you next
Until
time.
next time.
Bye bye.
Catch you later. Peace.